Like I wish I could explain y'all how much y'all mean to me when it comes like you all totally changed like my life, honestly. Like I just want to be like brutally honest with y'all. Like that is, you totally changed my life when it comes to that. And I appreciate that. And I couldn't give enough thanks.
Dang. I appreciate you, bro.
Try not to get emotional. One thing she's realized, this is the new normal. You know, I want to stay like this. I don't want to go back to old Evan. I don't want to be 136 pounds and scrawny and, you know, lazy. You know, so this is, I mean, this whole Elevate Wellness thing, this has been a total life-changing event for me. You know, this has elevated my life and like it's totally changed the way I look at things.
Overall, like how would you say your overall experience has been with Elevate Wellness and like our coaching program?
Amazing. You know, you all were the first coach I've ever had, and it was everything I expected plus more. You know, y'all were there like when I needed, like when I had questions, y'all would answer them. Like really just like it was very helpful. Like anytime I had questions, I could, you know, come to you all and y'all and answer it and help me out. And just like the information you provided and like trainerize using that like all together with y'all's coaching skills, like it just was a great deal / package.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And for those who don't know, Trainerize is the app that we are currently using right now. Do you want to go a little more in depth on like where you started, like when you started lifting and like what you just did this past weekend and yeah, the whole journey?
So yeah, started off last summer around August. I was 136 pounds, no muscle mass to me. I'd never had a gym membership, nothing. I started working out at my college gym, worked out there for probably 2 months ish. 3 days later, I signed up with you all. And from there on, the journey with, you know, the physique training, you know, I got up to like 157-ish pounds, pure muscle. Definitely best physique of my life. Definitely cannot complain. I could not have made it that far without you all. I wanted to get in shape. I knew that. I was tired of being tiny and having no muscle mass and just being weak. And I'm a very competitive person. Growing up, I was always like, even now, I'm super competitive with literally everything. Really set a structure for how I wanted to, like, it gave me motivation to really, like, you know, go to the gym and eat better because I wanted to improve my body and myself. And overall, that's definitely what happened. Staying dedicated the whole time. I'm not going to lie, you know, there were times where I was like, man, I don't want to go work out today. I am exhausted.
So what do you feel like did help you stay so consistent in that time?
So one, I hate, so like, I know this is going to sound kind of weird. I hate letting people down and whatnot. And like, I hired you all. And so like, you know, you kind of have that expectation, like, okay, I'm a paying client, so I'm going to do what you all tell me, you know, and like, if I don't do that, then I'm letting you all down. And like my friends, like that was what kept me consistent is I don't like, one, being embarrassed, and two, letting people down. So I was trying to do everything I could to make sure like I was living up to the standard, you know. I didn't have any knowledge on anything. I knew how to work out, you know, from the 2 months in the gym I was working out, but like the nutrition side of things, like no idea. Like all the stuff that y'all taught me was like that I never would have caught by myself. So like you all pointed those out to me and then explained to me, okay, this is why you do this. This helps this. This is going to make you look better this way, you know. And I never thought at 150 I was going to be able to bench that much. So it was just like with like him pushing me and like, you know, telling me like, make sure, you know, you're going heavy, but form again is everything. But him really pushing me kind of like, because if not, I never would have tried to row 75s or, you know, or shoulder press 115 or, you know, whatever it was. You know, I probably would not have pushed myself near as hard. Mm-hmm. So he definitely there kind of applying that pressure to make me go harder in the gym. Definitely, I think, paid off and made a difference. And that's another thing, you know, that I didn't realize was going to make the big difference is like the nutrition, like body wise, it just made me feel like so much better. I had energy. It totally changed the way I eat, because before I was with you all, I literally just ate whatever you throw in front of me. And like when I started doing that, it made me realize like, wow, I need to change the way I eat. And now I'll never go back to that way. I feel too good. I look so much better now. So definitely changed my lifestyle when it comes to eating. I would lay in bed all day and play video games after that all day, just because I didn't want to do anything else. And like now, like just like not having all that like fat from the cheese, like the grease and all that like junk in me, it just makes me feel like lighter, if that makes sense. Like it makes me feel like I'm not just like a blob, just doing nothing. It just makes me feel better. Everything about me, I would get headaches from eating that kind of junk food. And now like with eating healthy, it just totally like 180 my lifestyle and like how I felt, because I was always feeling crappy. I'd go do PT and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to go like run 4 miles. But now it's like, I'll go do that for fun because I feel great.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that mindset.
And it's like, something you mentioned right too, right? It's like the mindset is huge because, right, obviously the work ethic, so it's like you got to have the mindset, you got to have the work ethic. But also, I think a lot of people have those things. But one thing you've kind of mentioned is the strategy.
Yeah, so that's exactly. I want to hit on that. It's like, for example, Tyler, the dude is strong. He is dedicated. He's probably one of the hardest workers I know. He's always in the gym. But like when it comes to the nutrition side of things, he doesn't know. That's how I was. I knew how to, work out a little bit, but he doesn't know the nutrition. And so having like a coach to provide that knowledge and guidance and the strategy on, how to work out and how to eat properly, it totally like you said, you could have the dedication, but you don't know how to do it. You're blindly walking in a direction. So that coach is there. You all are there to provide that direction and guide, so that you don't spend 9 months wasting your time.
Yeah. And it's the quote that comes to my mind is, so many people preach practice makes perfect, but it's like, if you're practicing the wrong way,
yeah, you're not
going to equal perfect.
Exactly.
Because I talk to people all the time where it's like, yo, I want to make these changes and I've been doing this exact thing. I come across people all the time who know they should make a change. They want to make a change, right? And something's just holding them back from getting a coach, because most people have never gotten a coach for the first time, right? So they know they want to, they know with what we provide, it's going to help them. They've seen the transformations we've helped people achieve, but it's like something's holding them back. What would you as a client mention to them?
So like for me, like when it came to like not knowing if I wanted to get a coach or not, I knew that if I would have waited a week or 2 weeks to sign a coach, I wouldn't have got with a coach. I'm telling you, somebody would have talked me out of it. So that's why I was like, okay, I talked to y'all and people were trying to talk me out of it. And I had a feeling. I'm like, no, I need to do this because they're going to get me on the right path and it's going to be a good thing. So I was like, boom. I didn't even tell my girlfriend. I was like, oh, I signed with them. So I wasn't going to let anybody talk me out of it. And that's the big thing. It's like, I know so many people that would love to have a coach, but then they go ask somebody like, well, what do you think? And that person, doesn't like coaching at all and thinks they're great without coaching. Well, they're going to tell that person, like, oh, you don't need a coach. You're just wasting your money. So they're going to get talked out of it so fast. And so like I said, the kind of come to Jesus meeting, you need to sit down with yourself and think about everything. Like, okay, I made things work, so I prioritized my coaching. That's really what it takes, is you got to prioritize this kind of stuff. So if you're not dedicated, just either don't do it or find a way to get dedicated. So really just focusing on yourself. Because I'll be 100% honest here. Like when I was, wondering and looking into hiring, getting a coach and whatnot, every person I was talking to, my parents, my girlfriend, the majority of my friends, they're like, don't do it. It's a waste of money. It's not going to be worth it. You don't have that kind of money to be spending on a coach. It's too high of a price and whatnot. I was literally like the only person that was like, I want to do this though. I want to coach. I want, I there's no other way that I'm going to learn. I think this is going to be the best way. And now seeing the end result, like, I'm so glad I stuck with my instinct and not what everybody else was thinking, because in the end, it was me. I was doing what was best for me. And, looking at it from now, I've done my physique competition. I'm in the best shape of my life. I have more knowledge than I ever thought I would have had on nutrition and fitness. I'm taking classes through NASM. I'm becoming a certified personal trainer and a nutrition and fitness specialist. Like, if you would have asked me if you would have told me last May that at this time this year, I would have competed in a physique competition and I'm getting certified, I'd told you you're out of your mind. I never would have thought this is what I'd be doing right now.
Yeah.
Nowhere close. So sometimes you got to go against the grain and what people think and do what you think is best.
Your friends just didn't have the same goals as you, right? Like,
Nope.
You have different goals from your family and friends, and that's okay, but it's just like being wise and being like, okay, the people I'm asking for advice from, do they have the life I want to live, or are they the type of person I want to be? Right. And it's just like, if those things don't align with the thing you're asking them advice for, honestly, you probably shouldn't even be asking that person for advice.
Yeah.
Like, I have like a 4-step process that I talk about that has helped me achieve a lot of the goals that I've achieved. And first, it's figuring out what you want. You touched on that, right? Your goals. Step 2 is figuring out why you want it, right? That's your come to Jesus moment that you mentioned.
Yep.
Step 3 is figure out who has already done that or who's on that same path as you and is a little bit further ahead, right? And then it's just like model after them. And I think too many people get too, like, I don't know why this is, but it's such a complicated concept for most people to think like, I'm just going to find someone who's done exactly what I want to do and I'll invest my time, money, energy because they're going to help me get to my goals way faster.
This is the new normal. I don't plan on eating like I used to ever again because I don't want to feel the way I felt then. And I don't want to look like that ever again.
That exact same thing you just mentioned is exactly the journey that we went on earlier in our lives. Yep. And we know what it did to us as people.
I want my buddies, I want them to feel the same thing that I felt.
Whenever you're healthy and fit, it's just like your life improves in every way. You can
exactly 100%
make better decisions. You have more energy, more mental clarity. It's just like literally everything improves.